Well, it's a change of scenery today, folks. It's not our usual site. It's not the land of milk and honey, but I think I'm safe to say it's probably the land of the best compost around here. I'm at the plot of the Compost King, Mick Poultney. So here we are on the allotment site, and here's the man himself. Morning, Mick.
How do?
Thanks for letting us come down and see your plot. And as usual, as expected, just look in the boot of the car.
Normal family car.
And it's full,
full of shit.
Full of goodness, ready for the compost bin. Where we go?
Right, this is Abbey Road Allotments. There's 56 plots on site. We're self-governed. We had a meeting because I'm chairman of the Dudley Horticultural Advisory Council. We had a meeting last week and basically ended up stopping everything, cutbacks, which is expected. So we're now self-governed. You've got to have a committee on site, otherwise it's going to be, well, shit. This is my top fruit cage. I finished this off last year. You might be able to see there's no net on the top.
Yep.
I'm going to try and get away with it without putting a net on. If the birds do come in and take everything, then obviously I'm going to net it.
And where have we got in here, Mick?
There's 3 apples, 3 damson, and a couple of cherries. But I like my fruit. I'm all raised beds. I've got one full plot down to the tunnel. Originally when I made these raised beds, these was made, bloody hell, 20 odd years ago. And what Dudley Council was doing then on a weekend, on a Saturday morning, the skip wagons was coming down. And everybody put the scrap out on a Friday night. So Friday night, the tatters and me would be going round, I'd be nicking all the timber anybody put out, and that's what I did use to make my raised beds. Now it's better because I can get scaffolding boards, use scaffolding boards.
Are all these lined with the
yeah,
plastic?
Got the black and white plastic on. Once the timber's dry, obviously when you make your bed, if you then line it with the black and white plastic, which is proper horticultural plastic, this doesn't deteriorate, sod or. It's still as supple now as when I put it. The only way it can deteriorate if you catch it or something, then that's where the bits of tape are. But it'll last for bloody ever.
And there's all this homemade compost in the beds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good brew. Usually by now, all these are top dressed with my own compost or muck. It's all called what I'm going to grow. Watered, and then it's got a weed suppressant on, which we'll see down the bottom anyway.
And have you done your 2016 plan yet for what you're growing where?
Not yet. I do a crop rotate, so I've got to work that out. The raspberries, them was new this year. Them, I'm trying to think the bloody name. We'll have a nose on the way up. I've still got my tally on. But they crop twice a year, and they were superb, taste-wise and whatever. But they fruit. They're still fruiting beginning of September, which is ideal for our show. Then will be trimmed early Feb. I'm all fenced in all the way around. I had no choice. Bloody badgers, pain in the arse. We got 3 sets local, and they come in after the worms. They even dig these up, get the worms out. But worms.
And how deep are these beds?
Well, because the slope of our allotment side goes that road and this road, to get a level bed, as you can see, it's probably about 6 inches up that corner, and it might be 2 foot, 2.5 foot up this end, just to get a level bed.
And do you have to water these regular in the summer?
The only one disadvantage with raised beds is they dry out quicker. But as you can see, I've got straw on from last year. You can see it better on that end. But that's what I do. Whatever's growing, gladioli, brassicas, whatever, I then top dress the bed with straw. This keeps the moisture and warmth in, and it works. Because I go on holiday for 2 weeks in August. My mate looks after my tunnel, what's inside there, but the rest is just left to the elements. The straw keeps the moisture in.
What's in here? This looks very, very fine.
That's my carrot bed,
right.
Exhibition carrots.
And does that go right the way down into the other bed?
Yeah, so I've got the depth. But a cover goes on that environment mesh.
Right.
I've got my garlic in down that end. See the bloody winds blow my flag down. Bloody blowing them all down. Right, I've had to step down here because we now had this tunnel. Because we got a few couple of committee members who won't move with the times, and you can only have a certain height on your polytunnel, so I had to sink it down a foot.
How ridiculous.
To keep in with the regulations. What a load of shit. Gonna have a quick nose in here. Right, the first tunnel line down here was homemade, and the winds bloody took it. This was Grove. I only had this one because the old dear paid for it. Otherwise I wouldn't have had it. They're too bloody expensive.
I see you've got some lovely new builder's planks there.
Yeah, these are drying out, and the black and white plastic, which is here, we flogged that down the shed, and that's what I used to line these. These will be lined. I'll probably do tomorrow if I can get away with it. If the missus goes shopping or something, and not get time off. But I know these are bone dry now, so they get lined with plastic, and then they'll go out to fill one of the raised beds. 2 grapevines in here. Have both gone to the end this year, so now I know I've got me good grapevines.
Is that 2 vines or 2 rods off one vine?
Yeah, 2 different vines, 1 red and 1 purple. Red, 1 purple, 1 green. Solar powered fans. Actually, the solar power here, the panel. But all I'm doing is a bit of air moving. In I don't know, 6 months, another year or something, they'll have a bigger
panel,
bigger panel and a better fan. Watering system I got up there. That's gravity fed into the bed.
Is that a constant drip feed or on a timer?
No, it will be on a timer. Cause where was it? BBC Gardeners World Live. I was at this year. And those flogging systems there, they're run by solar power as well. So I'm going to have that set up. I'm just doing it up the top of the garden, but that'll be good in the sense that'll do my watering when I'm on holiday as well.
This tunnel here, Mick, it's half plastic and half like mesh at the bottom. How's that work?
Yeah. If you have a quick span on the door, that's my Enviro mesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for ventilation. Originally, that door had this on. If you look at this close, there ain't much wind coming through there.
No, it is very close mesh, isn't it?
And for me, there ain't enough ventilation in. Also outside, it got 2 roll-up screens, which was this. So if you put them down, you got no ventilation whatsoever. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So first thing I did was took them off. I cut them off a day one of them. I run the gaffer up. I says, if you cut them, get rid of them 2, or give people the option, that'll knock another grand off the price of the tunnel, and you'll flog more. Oh, he don't like it, did he? Right, my full plot comes down to the tunnel, then I've got another half plot down past here. When I had me grapes inside the tunnel, I'd want the last one come, and then 2 days later, another one come in the post. And I rung him up. I says, I've just had another grapevine come. I hope you ain't bloody charge me for it. And he says, oh, it's our cock up. You can keep it. So I thought, I've got nothing to lose. And that's what this one is. I thought I'd plant him outside. Where am we? Regent. If I lose him, then I ain't paid for him, so I ain't lost.
So how old's this one?
This is a 2-year-old. Right. He just got the length of my 2 wires last year. Sorry, this year.
And have you had a decent crop of it this year? He
was alright. I didn't thin out so much. I should thin out twice as much next year. Yeah. You'll learn every year, don't you? But to say he's outside, obviously when the sun is out, we got him all day, like today.
So where are we facing now, which is south facing here?
North up there.
So this is south down?
Yeah.
Right.
We got nothing, well, except on after tea. It's them trees over there, but my mate's going to job them. We've got the plot on the end, get a bit more light in. So my other half plot down here, compost bins. I'm back to 6 bins again, 2 for leaf mould and 4 for compost. When I fill the bin up, I put the date on, so I know a month from that. Well, this one's leaf mould, but I know my compost is going to be ready. See that one's in use, that's got empty on, and so on. But we'll have a perm with them later. Other part of my orchard here, which I'm still doing. Still got apples on, that's how I store them, bloody hate them. Wood chip, I've got a contact for wood chip now. There's about 3 on them. But it keeps the weeds down and it works.
Is it membrane and wood chip on top?
Yeah.
And when do you prune your apple trees?
Usually February.
Yeah. What do you do, just reduce the spurs or something on them?
Yeah. Because I train them where I want them to go.
Yeah.
Like lengthways.
And how old would them trees be there?
It's probably 4-year-old. That one behind's 5 here. Blueberries, I grow them in pots because they're education's compost. But if you bury the pot, then they ain't going to dry out so quick.
Do you have to net them with the birds or anything?
I have got away with them the last couple of years, but now I've moved them out because they was in between them. Now they're out here, they're in a bit more open, so I'll like to see how they go. If they do start jobbing them, then I'll just extend my fruit cage and all this, and then be netted. Right, these are a couple of beds I've been doing.
Wow, that's fantastic stuff.
Nice brew in there.
Smells good and all.
Look at that, you could hate it. But that's working away. Nature, do your thing. But these beds, the same as this one here, the end one, that was all this height. But because the boards have started going, exactly the same as my beds up top, now replacing them. As you can see, these are the scaffolding boards, you can just make them out.
Yeah.
These are too high or too deep, however you want to say it. So all I've got to do now, cock my leg over. Then I've probably got what, just over a foot gap or something for me to walk up and down. Left bending.
Do you ever find you need a gap wide enough to get a barrow down before filling the...
No. Same, that yesterday, I put that horse book on yesterday. I just bring it down in bags. So I'll just get over here and just empty the bags in. So you don't need a wide path. But this one, these boards on here ain't too bad actually. But I've lined them other scaffolding boards, I might put them straight on top of this one.
Right.
I've still got to check them. They might be crap. He is.
So will you just rake this horse manure on the top and let the worms take it down, or will you actually rake it in?
Leave him there, wait till I've raised this up, this board. Or if it is crap, then I'll take him out and raise them, same as this. And then I'll start filling again. I'll just level that, spent mushroom compost, spent tops, spent peat, grow bags or whatever, and then just fill it up that road. Exactly the same with these beds here, which is just done then. This was finished last week, I think. Yeah, you can still see the spent tops in there. Obviously any bits of pebbles, shit. Yeah, look, mycorrhizal, fungi. Because it's had no disturbance, it's get going. But there's topsoil in this because we had a topsoil delivered on site. So I borrowed that and all.
Is that decent stuff, or do you have to get stones there to now stones in?
Oh, there was in wall riddle. But I'll take all the crap out.
Just looking at these spreads, Mick, have you had to net these against the pigeons at all during the season, or
no?
Just leave them as they are?
The sprouts are usually 5 foot high. I ain't bothered this year. Them was late.
Do you know what variety they are?
No, because I had them from the Bringer Boy, which is in June, at our gardening club. And them was left, nobody wanted them. So I paid 50 pence for them, I just threw them in. Normally I'll look after them. And them up here. When I first started looking into raised beds, the things you couldn't grow in raised beds was fruit, any fruit, and brassicas. What a load of crap. Weed suppressant. It's keeping the warmth in, keep the moisture in, and letting nature tick over. By the time I come to use these beds, these are going to be superb. 4 foot wide, meaning I can reach the middle from either side. So I'm never going to tread on this. There's never going to be any compaction. No compaction, no dig.
So when you come to use the bed, do you put any other dressing on top ready for before you're planting, or?
The only thing this will have is a seaweed meal.
Right.
Which is any natural product or anything that's seaweed based, like maxi crop.
Yeah.
I use that as a foliar feed. But seaweed meal is beautiful stuff. That'll have a feed of that. But the rest of the feed is in what you put in. I always, whatever you're top dressed with, what I top dressed with, is the more natural products.
Yeah. Do you ever use mole oils?
Yeah, best topsoil you can get mole oils. When I do my talks, when I go out in the sticks, you always go early in case there's traffic jams and all this crap. So I've always got a bag in the boot, and if it is in the sticks, I'll go out and collect some mole oils before the talk. Obviously you've got to wash your hands as well, yeah. But boxy stuff. So my days of digging have gone. Let the worms do the digging, that's why they was invented. Nature will win every time.
I'm just inside the mixed fruit cage now, and I just spotted this thing on the bench, which is quite amusing. You just take a look here. It's got, this bench is dedicated to the mole that cost me 65 quid. Do you want to expand on that, Mick? Or,
oh, I'll get this up first. Right, that'll give you a clue. If I mentioned earlier on, in the bins, the bloody mole was coming in, nicking all the worms. All my raised beds as well are now lined with chicken wire as well,
right.
as my bins. That's what cost me 65 quid. A bloody great roll of this. Luckily I got a mate down Craig Leith who got a plot. Now the bloke next door to him wanted chickens, and he wanted to line the whole lot with chicken wire, obviously. Stop the foxes getting him, whatever. He got on eBay and there was 3 bloody great rolls. And he had to buy them 3, he couldn't buy one separate, so he had to buy the 3 rolls. Then he obviously got 2 spare, and that's where I bought my roll from. It cost me 65 quid. But the size of the roll, it took 4 adults to pick it up.
okay. Right.
That's the weight of it. And I managed to do all my raised bins. I did all the raised beds up the school. I've done 2 plots here for the disabled. I managed to do all their raised beds. And I've still got some left. This is it. That's what cost me 65 quid.
The famous mole, 65
Mrs. hates gardening, has only been down the plot twice. And I heard her coming up the roadway. I heard her and a mate. I thought, crap. And I had to go in the boot to get a blanket and put it over that. I had the bloody... if I knew how much I spent on gardening, they'd kick me out. And then mate says, oh, he's been nice, he's put a blanket on the side for you. Oh, bloody hell, I've called that sign.
So there you have it, folks. That's the story behind the plaque. So now it's cookery class time. All the ingredients are here. So we're going to talk us through what you're doing then, Mick. What we got?
Bloody cookery, that's it. Right, compost day for me, usually Monday. If I can get away with it, obviously if it's peeling down, then I've got to do it Tuesday, or bank holiday, then we're down today. But kitchen scraps, which are these here. As you can see, I've got loads on them, because we had a house full for Christmas. Banana skins, excellent. These also, put them in a little pint jug of water. Rainwater, not tap water. Tap water's full of crap. Rainwater. Let it steep for a couple of days, full of potash. That's what I feed all my indoor plants with. But lettuce, tater peelings, normal crap out the obviously. Eggshells. These are about, I can get away with the missus with one of these in the kitchen now. Took me bloody 30 odd here. Eggshells. That's a bit lime content. That keeps your compost neutral. If you don't use eggshells, obviously they get crushed up.
Yeah.
Worms are going to bloody go through them. But if you don't use eggshells, you might have to put lime in to keep it neutral. But the worms will tell you if there's something in there that's missing or they don't like. Tea bags, them are also emptied into this one. Right, I've got one of them in the kitchen. on the kitchen table, which is my office, it throws a fit over that and all. I've got this. This is my carbon. This is your carbon side of your composting. You've got to have your carbon in.
So it's like junk mail and...
This is just egg boxes, loo rolls. If I'm watching Summit on the box, which you watched yesterday, was you watching Summit? I'm just ripping egg boxes up. Nothing coloured, just in case there's something in the colouring.
So no magazines or nothing like that?
No, nothing glossy. And my tea bags, because the tea bags they're made up, because it was in the sun, so it's got to be true. They're made up about 60% plastic.
Okay.
I'll be digging them for years end. So I'll just empty the tea in there, just about to the tea leaves in there. Or tea, good activator, exactly the same as spent coffee grounds. That's what this is.
Yeah.
When I do the shopping, Tesco, first place I go, coffee shop, and they give me a bin liner full of spent coffee grounds. When I do my talks over the UK, that's one of my bags. Because 12 gardening clubs out, I donate gardening related raffle prizes. So the bloody great bag of spent coffee grounds, plus a bottle of liquid osmuck, which I've got down the bottom. Another good one, which worms like, Alph Alpha Pellets. Obviously you've got to crush them, but my blender's bust. I don't smash them up
so where'd
with
you
a
get
hammer.
them from the health shop or something?
You can just get on eBay. That's the cheapest place now if places don't flog it. So when I get down to the bins later on, which we'll see, shredded newspaper, worms love it. Once again, not glossy and not coloured. And the best one I've found, paperback books. It's beautiful paper.
Does that be like Mills and Boone or Jackie Collins or anything?
Any bloody thing. But it's thinner than your computer paper, meaning it's going to break down quicker.
Yep.
But because of the glue on there as well, because I look after my worms, I don't rip the full page out.
Okay.
Just in case, and that's what goes through the shredder. Comes out like that. There's a couple of ex-coppers up Chesterfield. I see me mate Dave Goodwin up there every year. We do a swap with leeks and onions. And these two ex-coppers, they was both fishermen. And they wanted something to do, obviously, because I bloody retired. So they started their own worm farm up. They found out all their worms had been imported from Norway. They couldn't bloody believe it. I started a worm farm. And Dave got in touch with them. And when I went up to visit, he says, any chance of my mate coming round to have a nose? And we went round there. And all those feeding their worms was multi-purpose compost. All those using as a bedding, multi-purpose compost. Layers, chicken pellets, and this shredded paper. Worms bloody love it.
Okay.
Natural product, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they get 2 lots
Do you
of
have to
carbon.
bother with anything like the ink what's on there or anything?
Nah, it's supposed to be alright now.
Okay.
If it's black and white, not coloured,
Okay.
just in case. Also, if you're noticing here, I've got breading. When that starts going mouldy, that is a good mould.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's good and bad bacteria, the same as fungi and whatever. But the mould on there is a good one. So I've been trialling that as well. When I've chopped this up, which I'll show you in there in a bit, I've then got to mix it with other ingredients. All my ingredients are under this carpet. As you see the different bags there. But the carpet's on to keep the frost and the rain off.
Oh.
But we'll uncover all that crap and then we'll come back to you. 3 things you got to keep out of your compost: onions, lemons, oranges. Too acidic. Once you keep them out, you'll have no problem with your worms. Doing a moisture check on my bins. That'll do. Doing a moisture check on my bins. There were, if you remember, the mole nicked all my bloody worms a foul. Doing it again. When I took the lid off, all the worms was around the lid. They dropped out. First thing I did, pick them up. And I thought, there's somebody in there, because I'm trying to escape. There's somebody in there I don't like. And it ended up, it was onions, or anything citric. Don't bloody like it. It's common sense, eh?
Yeah.
If I bite into an onion, I'm going to pull a face. What's a worm going to do? Exactly the same. Since I've kept them out, I've had no problem whatsoever. Right, yeah, I've just seen me chopping that up. That's the hardest I work on the plot now. All I'm doing is making less work for the worms, i.e. The smaller the ingredients, the better. I'll chop that one up, then we'll come back to you. Right, we've just chopped everything up, and that is now in there. Get an empty compost bag and just throw it in there. My carbon, which you remember was all my kitchen stuff, that goes in there. Now what we've got to do, mix it up. All we're doing again is helping the worms out. Less work for them. The smaller the ingredients you can get, and the more you can mix the ingredients, the quicker the breakdown. This is by the bacteria, fungi and the worms. You're just giving nature a helping hand. So I'll have a quick nose in there. There you are. You could out that already, couldn't you? Right, I've opened all my bags up. These are what I've got permanent. The first one, what I'm going to do is put a double handful of everything in there. The first one is spent tops. This is beautiful stuff. Obviously, if it's spent tops, then it's from a brewery, which I've thrown out.
Is that just local you get that from?
Yeah. If you ever need anything like this, all you got to do, if you're on the internet, just put breweries and then put your postcode on. So the breweries have to get rid of their hops and the malt. The malt ain't, well, it's alright, but I'd rather use the hops. This is beautiful stuff.
Is that dry or damp, is it?
This is usually dry. But the winds we've had blew the bloody top off and the rain got in. But it's usually drier than that. So a double handful of that goes in my bag. Next one, this is through trial and error again. This is wood chip. And we was having wood chip delivered down there, and after a couple of days it was steaming. I thought, bloody hell, that's brewing. If it's doing there, you have another natural product. Obviously, if there's any big lumps, I'm going to throw them out. But these lot, it's another ingredient for my compost. That's going to break down as well. Another good in here, if you can get hold of them, worm casts. We've got I think our new suppliers at Canic, but exactly the same again. Just put worm casts and your postcode on the internet, and they'll give you a nearest supplier. I get these by the pallet load now for our trading sheds. I could flog these £4 a bag. Excellent stuff. And if you can get them fresh, you've still got the eggs in there, plus the young worms. When I used to go to that place up Chesterfield, I was around them Turks coppers. When I used to go up and finish my mate up there, I'd come back and the car would be bloody loaded up with the worm casts. By the time I get them home, because of the warmth in the car coming back home, I got my own bloody worm farm. Bloody loaded of worms.
What?
Right, next one we come to, topsoil. Any stones, bung them out. The best topsoil you can get now is molehills. If you can get molehills, bloody get it. But any topsoil, people forget to put this in their compost. One pinch of topsoil, you've got millions of good bacteria, little chaps. Get it in there. So a double handful of that goes in again. Mentioned before, any bricks, stones, pebbles, and sod them off, go on them. Next one, this is spent peat. This is out my grow bags up the end of the greenhouse. This will grow me peppers in, cucumbers, whatever. Plus in my tunnel, I've got big tubs up either side of the tunnel, and that's where I grow my chilies and my peas for exhibition. So all the stuff when them are emptied out, this is what this is, spent peat. So, as I mentioned before, all natural products, so you know them all good. Next one, spent mushroom compost. This is blowed down Evesham. If you can get in there again. Them white little specks that we see there, that's your bacteria and fungi working away. But any big lumps, then I'm going to break it up. I'm helping the worms out again. Just put spent mushroom compost, then your postcode on the internet. It'll give you your nearest supplier. There's a few nurseries that flog it. but if you can get it off the chap itself, we can get about £3 a bag, these bags. Bloody Boston. I had another load down our shed just before Christmas, but it's excellent stuff. Also as a top filler for your raised bed. Next one, oss muck. Whatever muck you use, oss, cow, goat, bloody llama. I've got me a llama contact and all. That's where you're going to get your worms from. You know, them in there underneath. But good brew. Get your muck in. Another one, this is from mate up Cumbria. Seaweed. I put it through the shredder twice. Let's go get seaweed like us who live in the Midlands. Cheat and go to Holland and Barrett and just get a little bottle of sea kelp tablets and just crush one of them up. Exactly the same thing, you got all your trace elements from the sea. Another one here, which I've just had another ton delivered down the shed. This is your reaming volcanic rock dust. Being volcanic means it's from down below the earth. So if it's volcanic, it's brought to the surface, so you got all your minerals and trace elements which we haven't got up here. So this is another good addition to my compost, plus top dressing the beds. All my beds are top dressed with this as well. Excellent stuff. Next one, this is pigeon shit. It is strong, high nitrogen, so break all the lumps up again. You don't want to choke the bloody worms, help them out. Just one fistful of that goes in. This is my leaf mould from last year. Any lumps in, then I'll break that up again. But a couple of them go in as well. Get the last one in there. If you've got loads of leaf mould, it's a top dressing. Good. Through trial and error, worms love this porridge oats. They'll get nicking your missuses.
Does it matter if it's Sainsbury's?
No, just get the chip shit. Everyday value. But worms love this. This is through trial and error and all. Now I was getting the papers this morning from our paper shop, because they're an off licence and all. He does say he does his stock check on a Monday morning, every first Monday of the month. I'll tell him, right, and then the second Tuesday of the month, I'll come throw all the stuff away for you. He said, that's very kind of you. And this is what he gave me this morning. If they're out of date, any out of date stuff, just throw it on the compost bin. Excellent stuff. I used to have cans of Guinness. If you're like a beer or you're alky or whatever, you can hear a ring pull from 8 mile away. And I used to open a can of Guinness and used to turn around and I used to be pouring it on my compost bin. Used to dribble. But anything like that is a good. Same as my piddle. If I want a piddle, I'll keep that. But we'll show you that later on. Not me having a piddle, but what we're doing. Right, this lot we've just filled up now. Obviously, you've got to do it. If you've got more bags with more ingredients, then it's going to be too heavy for you. So just do it so you know you can lift. So what we're doing now is opening the worms out again, mixing everything up. Right, just show you that brew. Look at that, beautiful. There's still some lumps in there, but I mean nature and the worms will break that down. Bloody beautiful. It ain't even gone in yet. That's why it's ready in less than a month.
Just come back inside the polytunnel again and I've noticed we've got a little visitor here. Looks, it's the mole is back again. So what are you doing, Mick?
Little bugger. I'm going to give him a drink.
A drink for Christmas.
But it's Jay's fluid.
All right.
So I'm going to give him a nice drink and then fill it in.
Do they always seem to come up the same place, does he, or does he come up anywhere?
Nah, the first one I've sit in here, because now I don't get the moles in the beds because I've chicken wired everything. My mates get them.
Okay.
And they give me a bollocking. But he'll now sod off into my mate's plot. Right, we've just mixed everything up. Brought it down to the bottom of the plot. So I've got to get my bin ready. Take my bits of carpet off. Obviously that lot in there was last week's, ready to fill up again. We'll not put it in because it needs a bit of moisture in there. If it dries out, the worms are going to sod off. They're soft. Worms breathe through the skin, meaning they've got to stay nice and moist. If you keep it moist, the worms will stay there and do what they've invented to do, go through everything. Watering them, I've just had a piddle in there, full of nitrogen. Also, something else I had. This is liquid osmuck. A place where I call heaven when I get my osmuck, because it's bloody used, the pile of os crap up there. And the runoff from the rain, that's this stuff. I'm collecting this and all. The wenches up there who come out the stables with the barrows, they think I'm bloody south. Couldn't give a monkeys. Right then, all we want is about a 2-inch layer of this on the bottom. So we put half a bag in, then going to spread it out. Nice and flat. Right, now you're going to have your carbon. You've got carbon in there, but the more the better. It's probably about half and half at the end. Shredded paper again. But you're just about covering. Now with this lot, don't forget this is dry, so you've got to get a good watering. You ain't going to get no, it ain't going to go soggy mass because you've got the drainage. So anything excess is going to clear off. Next lot to go in, do exactly the same again. Level him out. Put your carbon in again, extra carbon. Another watering. All you gotta do is keep it warm, which you have, because I put carpet around it, because it's bloody cold. Plus I got carpet on the top, so you haven't got that cold void from the lid down to the top of that surface. Before I had carpet used on, when I used to have my muck heaps at the top, you put carpet on the top of your muck heap. As that muck heap breaks down, it drops, and the carpet drops down with it.
Keeps the lid on.
When this broke down, I used to take the lid off, and there was never any activity on the surface. And then I found about, thought, well, if I put carpet on my muck heap there, if I put carpet on here, and since I've done that, lift the carpet, worms, I'm there straight away.
And how do you get the compost out of the bin? Do you lift the bin up, or do you actually dig it at the top?
Well, now, because I've got chicken wire at the bottom, because of the bloody moles, I just take the lid off. Don't forget, once this is full, then the date goes on the brick, and I know a month after that date it's ready. So when I come to use that, I just take the lid off, and I get a bucket next to it, and a hand fork, just empty that way, till I can get the bucket in there.
Okay.
But you can get it all out. But if I've emptied one, which I have here, because the chicken wire was on the bottom, then all the mole's got to do is line his back under the wire with his mouth open, and the bloody worms drop through the wire, don't they? It bloody nicks them all again. So now, starting from scratch, I fill a bin up with 2 foot of straw. Then I start filling with my stuff, which compresses the straw. By the time that straw's broke down, my compost is ready and it's emptied. You don't get no worms.
Couldn't you put a piece of Enviromesh on top of the netting?
No, because scraping the stuff up at the end, I'm going to go through it anyway.
Yeah.
But straw's free. Plus, that straw I get out at the bottom, that's full of mycorrhizal fungi as well.
All right.
The last lot I had out there was plastered. I should have bloody filmed that. But because it's had no disturbance, that's where your mycorrhizae just take hold. But beautiful stuff. So every 10 days now, I should come down and do a moisture check with all of them.
Yep.
Obviously my leaf mould, I've got to get more leaves to throw in there because I want that full. Once it is rammed, then I should just leave it. Let nature do its bit. Put me in use break back.